Phrasal verbs have been one of the hardest things for my past students to learn when studying English, which totally makes sense. They can be very, very difficult, especially when you kind of just have to memorize them. It's really weird how like the words ask and out, for example, are used very differently than when they're used in the phrasal verb to ask out. It's all very confusing stuff. I totally understand. Which is why I wanted to make this video for you guys today. I am making it my goal to actually teach you, get in your brain, the most common phrasal verbs I probably use like every single day. We're going over the definition, doing some quizzes, and tons of video examples as well. So in this video, I'm going to be going over the top common phrasal verbs and explain whether they are separable or inseparable. There is actually no way to know if a phrasal verb is separable or inseparable. You kind of just need to memorize it, unfortunately. But I will do my best to help you remember it in this video. And just so you are aware, a phrasal verb is a verb and a preposition or a particle that when put together means something entirely different than the actual words. It basically forms a new meaning when the verb and the preposition or particle get put together. Let me explain with our first phrasal verb of the day. You guys are going to need this first phrasal verb if you really like somebody and you want to go on a date with them. Do you guys know what the phrasal verb is? The phrasal verb I'm talking about is ask out. Yes, ask out. You say it when you want to ask somebody out on a date, when you want to take someone on a date. The verb we have here is ask and the preposition that we have is out. So if a guy really liked a girl, for example, he could ask her out.
We can ask her out?
Well, I think she's cute and all, but how am I supposed to know if she's crazy or not?
And as you can see, this phrasal verb is separable. You can split up ask and out and put an object in between it, ask her out, but then you can also ask out somebody. So you can do it split apart or together. It's separable. Another common phrasal verb starting with the word ask is ask around. Ask around is to ask a number of people for information or help, or to inquire about something to different people. So for example, if you're lost, you can ask around to see if anybody knows where you're going or if they can give you correct directions. This phrasal verb is inseparable, so you cannot ask someone or something around, you just ask around. Our next phrasal verb is catch up. This is such a common phrasal verb and it's used in the US a ton, like every day by me. To catch up means to get to something you were behind. Become current. I usually need to catch up on a lot of things because I procrastinate a lot and I don't do things until the very end. In school, I would frequently need to catch up on my homework and I would literally get it done like 2 minutes before it was due. So yeah, I am very familiar with catching up on stuff. Let me just say that.
Yeah, we're just gonna catch up on DVR, play some video games, and not leave the couch the entire weekend.
And this phrasal verb is inseparable. You can't catch something up. You just catch up on something. Our next phrasal verb is come across. And it's another phrasal verb that I probably use literally every single day. I'm going to be playing a movie clip with this phrasal verb in it. I want you guys, based on the context in the movie, to tell me what you think the phrasal verb means.
I feel like I hardly ever come across a girl who I wouldn't mind sharing a cup of coffee and croissant with.
In this clip, we kind of have a long sentence. I feel like I hardly ever come across a girl I wouldn't mind sharing a cup of coffee and croissant with. Come across means to happen across or to discover. It basically means to find someone or something, sometimes by chance. You can come across a great book or a very interesting museum. You discover something when you come across something. Come across is inseparable. You can't come something across. No, you just come across something. This next phrasal verb is something that I personally tell myself a lot, and it is to calm down. To calm down means to become less excited, to become less intense. Basically, you say this to somebody when you want them to relax. Calm down, relax.
I don't want to calm down. It's called the act of painting for a reason.
Calm down is a separable phrasal verb, so you can actually calm someone down or calm down someone. Quiz time! Told you guys I'd be quizzing you throughout this video, so let's see how much you remember. What does the phrasal verb ask around mean? Yes, it is to inquire about something to different people. Good job, you guys. Second question. Let's say that you like somebody a lot and you want to go on a date with them. What phrasal verb would you probably use to do that? Yes, ask out is the correct answer. Great job, everyone. And final question. Which phrasal verb is correlated to the word relax, similar to that word? Next, we have the phrasal verb drop off. My parents dropped me off to school every day in middle school. Based on that sentence, can you tell me what drop off means? It means to deliver, to leave at. I really like the FluentU examples, so let's listen to them real quick.
Can you drop me off in front of the school? I have to drop my sister off at the airport.
People and things like flowers, for example, or packages can be dropped off.
When you drop off your bag at the check-in counter, it heads into a dimly lit world of conveyor belts, scanners, and giant machines that punch your suitcase in the direction it needs to go.
And this phrasal verb is separable. You can drop someone off or drop off someone. Next, we have end up. If someone says that they ended up going along with the idea, what do you think end up means based on that context? To end up means to reach a final condition or circumstance. It's kind of like what you say when you reach a conclusion or decide finally to do something. For example, you could say something like, we ended up watching a movie, or I ended up quitting my job.
As soon as they end up on the shore like this though, we've got seabirds flying all over the place and it's an absolute buffet line.
And end up is inseparable. You cannot end something up. You just end up doing something. This next phrasal verb is one of my absolute favorites because it has to do with food, which if you guys know me, you know that I love my food so much. And this phrasal verb is eat out. You might think that this phrasal verb means like eating physically outside, and it's close to that, but that is not the real meaning. To eat out basically means to go and eat at a restaurant. This verb is also inseparable.
So you can go shopping, you can go eat out and walk home.
Our next phrasal verb is find out. Let's see if you can find out what this phrasal verb means through this example sentence.
If we can find out what you're afraid of, we can label it.
To find out means to discover or to learn. This phrasal verb is inseparable as well. So to say I want to find it out is wrong actually. You say I want to find out. And so just be sure to remember that. Let's bring up another phrasal verb. What do you think the phrasal verb bring up means, you guys? Bring up means to introduce a topic. You can bring up the weather if the conversation gets awkward, or you can bring up a solution to a problem. And bring up is a separable verb. You can bring up something or bring something up. Either way works. Quiz time! Quiz number 2, you guys, let's do this. Let's say that you were planning on hanging out with your friends on Friday, going out with them, but you actually decided to stay home and study instead. What phrasal verb would you use to talk about what you decided to do? Yes, you ended up studying. Great work, you guys. Maybe you needed to catch up on homework. See what I did there, guys? Catch up on homework. Now, what is wrong with this sentence right here? I will find it out and let you know. Since we know that find out is inseparable, we cannot put an object between the two words. So the correct thing to say would be, I will find out and let you know. Not, I will find it out and let you know. Great job, everybody. Really, really great work. If you didn't get the answers, that's totally okay. It just means we gotta practice more. Our next phrasal verb is to hang out, which I actually think I used during that quiz. That phrasal verb, I use it very often. Everyone uses it very often in America. And if you're on FluentU and you want to find out more about this phrasal verb in particular, this is what you can do. First, type in the phrasal verb hang out. Then, once you've found the phrasal verb, you can press on it for the definition, which is to spend one's free time in a certain place or with a certain person. You can read through or listen to these 2 examples. But my favorite way to master phrasal verbs like this is to scroll down and press on the video examples.
How often do you hang out with your friends?
Hang out with my friends, hang out with my boyfriend.
I love the video examples because it really shows you how these phrasal verbs are used in context, which I think is very important to understanding the meaning and remembering it really well. If you're learning something while seeing it visually happening, it's so much easier to really remember it, and your brain is just like so good at memorizing it. Since I know that phrasal verbs can be so hard and it's been so difficult for my past students, I have a little gift for you in today's video where you can download FluentU for 2 weeks absolutely free in the description below, so you can make your own flashcards of all these phrasal verbs, practice them, look them up, and just know these phrasal verbs really well. So go check it out. Hope it helps you. Our next phrasal verb, give up, is very, very common, as are all of the phrasal verbs in this list, I know. But this phrasal verb in particular is actually pretty sad. When you give up on something, you quit. You stop doing it. That's what give up means.
Look, just work really, really hard and don't give up. I know that's really simple, but it works.
This phrasal verb is also separable. You can give something up or you can give up on something. Our next phrasal verb is hold on. When you hear this phrasal verb, you might think of somebody clinging to a rope, holding on for dear life. And while it might mean that in some circumstances, the way that hold on is most commonly used is to tell someone to wait or to slow down.
Another celebrities, we can swim immediately after eating. We don't have to wait. And oh, hold on, I'm getting a call. Hello?
I use this a lot when I'm running late somewhere and my friends or boyfriend is waiting for me. I'll be like, hold on, give me 5 minutes. I need to do my makeup or something like that. And this phrasal verb is inseparable. You can't hold something on. You just hold on. Hold on. It's really like an expression that you say, hold on. Next, we have go over. You might imagine like literally going over something, right? Like go over, but that's not what it means in the context that we're talking about today.
Hey everyone, I'm gonna go over 5 basic fundamentals that you should know for indoor rock climbing.
The sentence that I just showed you says, I'm going to go over 5 basic fundamentals that you should know for indoor rock climbing. To go over in this sentence means to examine or review. You can go over notes for a test or go over the proper procedures for something, stuff like that. And go over is inseparable. You cannot go something over, just go over something. If you want to go over everything that I've mentioned in this video, I made a free PDF just for you guys that's in the description below that you can download completely free. Now, I have the perfect video for you guys for part 2 of today's lesson. My friend Fallon goes over the basics of learning phrasal verbs in English. And she explains it with tons of movie examples, which are our favorites. It's the perfect video for you to watch for part 2 of this lesson, so she will see you guys over there.